everyone. We are finally live. We are having some technical difficulties again.
That pee took longer than we thought.
Oh, yeah, it was a rough one.
No, Anna did have to go pee.
I did.
And then our equipment wasn't allowing us to go live.
Correct. That is correct. Did everyone have a fantastic holiday weekend? We are stuffed and completely over. I'm over food. Do y'all get over food at Thanksgiving? Becca's not because she has self-control, but me and Rachel do not.
Well, I don't have self-control, but I also don't get tired of food, which is another issue. That's a problem.
True.
However, I did enjoy Thanksgiving.
You hosted Thanksgiving.
I did right after our Black Friday event.
Do y'all know I did not cook one thing this year. I bought
I'm so happy for you.
cakes from Nothing Bundt.
Good.
And that was my contribution.
Good.
Because I love to bake, to bake, but it didn't happen this year.
Jason's niece Alyssa brought some mini cheesecakes from Sam's Club. They were phenomenal.
You know what? Aquia gets cheesecakes from Sam's Club
Phenomenal.
a lot too.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Anna.
Yes.
What's your name?
I am Anna Lamb, and I'm an owner and craft educator here at Oak and Lamb. And you hear Rachel Webb, who is also a owner and craft educator, and then Becca is over there holding a little teeny tiny baby. Becca Oaks, she is an owner and craft educator as well. You probably won't hear her because she's typing away on a computer. Are you on the live? Oh, she's going to be corresponding with you all. Answer an email. Thank you all so much for your response for memberships and stuff on Black Friday. We had a really good turnout for that. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
And if you are still on the fence and have been like, man, I really needed to join, go ahead and grab the code JINGLE. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yes, for $45 off of our annual membership. That is going to grandfather you into that same rate yearly after that.
Yeah, which is the only time of year we throw that sale at you guys. Usually, all our coupon codes are great for the first year, but this sale particularly, not only is it the most amount of money off our annual membership, but you get it every year.
Every year.
Every year. So ask any questions you have about it. If you're like, well, what do you get in the membership? If you're wondering what kind of cut files we have or what kind of perks you can expect, ask questions, let us know. That's what lives are for. Anna, what are you making today?
I am so excited about this little find. So we are making, do you know the big trend right now with these antique metal bells? Let me tell you what. You, if you get a true antique, can pay a pretty penny for this fella right here. Now, they've got like 5,000 different sizes. You can use them just as decor. You can actually, I've seen them kind of like on a curtain rod thing where there's lots of different lengths on a wall. It's super, super cute. People are adding them to wreaths. But I wanted to give you all a cost-efficient way to recreate them. Also, these are decently heavy. The metal ones are heavy. So if you're wanting to put them on a front door or something, that's fine, but they're also pretty loud. So we are going to recreate some today using a plastic planter.
How creative.
Fantastic, right? Super, super, super light. So this was our inspiration.
Kat said, I feel like it's another holiday getting to see Anna's beautiful face today.
She's already made terrible comments about my bathroom, so she's having to make up for it. I love you, Kat.
Kat, Becca said you're a kiss butt.
But you know that's not what she said.
That's not what she said. This is a family channel.
This is family. Family-friendly, Becca. Let's just tangent that for 2 seconds. We were at the doctor's yesterday, and our doctor, our pediatrician, is my godbrother, who we've known my entire life, and he made some reference to my cursing, which I've never cursed in front of him ever in my entire life.
Are you sure? Oh,
no,
okay.
I really haven't. I really haven't. So the funny thing is that everyone like labels me as the cursor. That my brother Fred and Becca are just as worse, but no one says anything about theirs. And I was like, fine. I get to be labeled. It's because my attitude is bad when I say it, probably.
I'm not in this.
Poor Rachel.
I'm not in this.
She doesn't get in the middle of stuff. Now, when I leave, she'll probably be like, Becca, Anna's worse.
Well,
it'll be fine.
This is one thing I will say. I've spent way more time with Becca than Anna. I know Sometimes Becca cusses. Sometimes I cuss too. I know your favorites. I need to be around Anna more to be able to get a
Well,
an even score.
Starting January,
Yeah.
you're going to be around
I'll
me
start
more.
if you see me start to carry around a little notebook constantly.
Keeping tallies?
Yeah, just don't mind me. I'm just keeping tallies of the curse words. We'll have to get a swear jar down here.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to it. So I went ahead and spray painted these because it is like, 30, 40 degrees here in Tennessee. And, spray paint doesn't like cold temperatures to cure. What I used was the Krylon Metallic Brilliant Gold. Obviously, you could make these like super high shine red enamel look. You can make them black, you can make them silver. Be creative with that. But I wanted the more rustic distressed look. So we got this, and I did a really light coat, and I did some on the inside too, so that when they're hanging, you could see that. But I did not make sure that I fully covered it. It's got a really good coat, but because I chose a black planter, you can do any color planter you wanted, but I intentionally chose black because when you do a light coat, it kind of already gives it a distressed look. Now, if you were gonna distress your bell, keep in mind that when you go to distress, the color of the actual planter is what's going to pop through. So be intentional about that. Just FYI, I know that's probably a little bit of common sense, but you're welcome for the extra nothing. Anyway,
For the
extra nothing.
you're welcome for the extra.
So
nothing.
as you can see with this one's going to be our final product. And I don't know can you see the distressing and
Yes,
stuff on
it's
this?
so cute.
You can see the distressing. We've added a little bow, and I made one of those little ringer dingy things.
My hand is up.
Yes.
I think the distress makes it look more like a bell and less like a flower pot.
Yes, it does.
I think that the flower pot, like, just straight with the color, you're like, okay, it's a flower pot, but the project's cute. But with the distressed, you don't think it's a flower pot. It really helps
and then when
disguise
you
it with the
add-
eyes.
This piece is probably like that's non-essential because it doesn't work, but it makes a difference. And
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a
Oh, for
trick
sure.
on that too.
The beat up dowel.
Yes, the beat up dowel, and I'll show you all that. Anyway, so this is our end goal right here.
They're loving it. They're
Thank you,
going
thank
nuts
you.
about it.
Okay, so after you have properly cured dry time, what you're gonna do is get a drill. You're only gonna need one power tool for this. And I just chose a rather large bit because we want our ribbon and stuff to go through the hole. All you're gonna do is go straight down in the middle of the pot. It's not like exact. And it will pop off. This is a self-feed, but I liked the self-feed because of the indentation at the top of it.
Becca, she's using jute twine.
I am.
Her lip is curled up in disgust.
I had to bring it from my own collection because I knew we wouldn't have any here. Anyway, so we have done that. Now, get your sandpaper blocks, whatever you choose. The lower the grit, the rougher it is. So an 80 is going to be a whole lot more rough than a 200. A 200 is kind of just give you a buffed look. So you can see it's not really shiny in some spots on these real ones. You can buff off some of the shine. But if you're wanting to scrape through to the actual base, use more of, I think this is a 60 grit. And because I did such a light coat on that, you literally only have to like barely knock the edges off of it. Now, when I distress, I typically try to go and distress the majority of the places where there's an indentation.
Let's go overhead so they can see. Good
Okay.
too.
Where there's an indentation or some detail to accentuate, because, I'm gonna go ahead and just take that off for a second. That's where if it was ringing, it would most likely get hit is the pieces that stick out a little bit more. But as you can see, I'm just taking the edge of it and lightly scraping. You can go back in and do a few through here to give it.
Oh, that is so cute. And see, when you think distress, you think a lot of work and effort, but you're barely putting any effort into this.
Oh, there's really not any muscle behind this because of how thin the paint coat was.
Love it.
Now, you can see how it's kind of got a dusty look to it, but that pretty much comes right off. You just take a rag and get the dust part off. I mean, that is that easy.
A rag or an entire plus-size men's T-shirt.
Well,
Whatever you need to dust.
apparently, Rachel's husband,
He did not consult me when purchasing undershirts to wear every day, and he got Gildan or Gildan or however you want to say it. And I'm not dogging the brand. It's just not the best brand ever for like a good quality shirt that you're going to be wearing every single day. So it feels like sandpaper next to the other ones that he bought, which are like Hanes, something like that. So he's like, I'm not going to use these. I'm just going to toss them. And I was like, no. I'll take them to work. We'll use them.
Patrice said you could get a pot that already has a drain hole. Yes, 100% you could. I've seen these made out of terracotta pots. That makes me a little nervous with
Heavy,
it going
too.
on. It's very heavy, and see, that defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do
Yeah.
here. But there are plastic pots that have the drain holes in it too. Very good point.
Yeah.
Um,
And we've gotten several comments because I guess we've addressed it on like 1 or 2 lives, but not everyone knows yet. But yes, so Anna will be coming on in January. That's why she'll be seeing us more, and I'll be stuck with the twins more is because Anna's coming on in January. So we're super excited to make that leap for Oak and Lamb. So you all will be seeing a lot more of Anna.
stuck with old Lana.
Stuck with old Anna.
Okay, so I'm going to set this aside for a second. What I have done to make that, what are we calling that? The ringer dingy.
That's exactly what you said is the ringer dingy.
I really don't know what it's called, guys.
Well, you have to stick with ringer dingy now.
Ringer dingy. So what we have done is use the same 1-inch square rod, piece of wood. It's not a rod. I guess a rod is round.
Well, in my mind, a dowel is also
Dowel.
round. So I don't know what you call this.
A
Stick. Becca said
1-inch
stick.
square stick. That's what we're going with. And I went ahead and pre-cut this now. As you can see, it's very square. And it has very definite edges. All I did, and I went ahead and pre-did that one. I am not going to put you all through this because
Or
it's
us.
loud and obnoxious. I literally just took our little girly hammer that the head likes to fly off of. We need a different
that
one.
is
It does. It
dangerous.
It's flying everywhere. And you just bang in the edges. It softens the edge, and you're going to do that over the entire thing on
Beat
the
it up.
edges here, and then you're going to go in and just beat the heck out of the sides of it too. If you notice, the originals, I don't know if they can see that. Or is it overhead or forward?
You're overhead.
It's actually rounded on the edges. So if you wanted to be more realistic, you could take like a radial disc sander or something like that and really get cut those edges off to round them. But this is like carved. It's like carved with, I think, a knife actually, based off of those. This one's legit. It's probably hung around some Highland cow or something somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got to be a Highland.
Hung around some Highland cow.
Yeah, I don't
Was
really-
that in the description when you purchased it?
I mean, I got it from Etsy. I have no idea. Anyway, so after you beat this up, just take, this one is a little too big for crack. Take another drill bit.
Well, I just love that we learn crap every day here. The ringer dingy
Yes, what is
is
it called?
called a clapper.
Well, I
That's
like
the
that
actual
too.
name.
A clapper. It's interesting.
Becca's nodding her head in agreement.
I don't know that you did. Anyway, so you're literally just gonna, on one end, take your screwdriver and bore a hole all the way
If you
through.
all missed that,
Huh?
Becca said, I'm pretty sure I knew that. And Anna said, I don't know that you did. Guys, pray for me come January.
Rachel, this is gonna be the best time of your life.
I cannot wait.
I'm gonna scrub the heck out of this table when I get on here full
I
time.
like it.
This drives me insane.
You get brownie points if you know what video that came from,
I have
guys.
no clue. I stopped watching y'all.
Becca,
It's always right in the middle of like me doing hair or something.
you own this business.
I know. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so we've bore our hole, and this is gonna make it to where we can attach it on the inside here. After you bore the hole, you can choose any stain that you want. This is the early American. Ooh, it's dripping on me. Nasty. Nasty. Or do whatever light, dark, whatever stain you want. That's pretty straightforward. Make sure that you wipe off the excess if you're not wanting it super dark. Then you're going to get your string, your jute, whatever you want. And I wanted my string to be a little bit thicker. And they make, I mean, like this is really, really thick, but I didn't have anything like that. And then also, it was an unintentional thing, but once I got into it, having two strings actually made it a little bit easier, and I'll show you why. So just cut two that are the same length. That's probably a little excessive if we're being honest. We'll cut that off. Here was the fun part. Now, take all four ends.
Kathy has a question.
Yes.
How much longer than the pot do we make the ringer dinghy?
That is completely personal preference. So on this one, it's literally only sticking out like, what, a quarter to a half of an inch. I like mine to show though. So I intentionally made mine longer. So this sticking out about an inch and a half.
Okay.
That's, like I said, 100% personal preference. And once you get this part in here, you can play around with it a little bit to see what you want. So take all four loose ends and start sticking it in the pot. Now, because it is a tight fit, I just got the end of a paintbrush to help poke it down in the hole. There's probably a better way of doing this. Okay, one is through.
Did Dollar Tree have a lot of good options for the holiday season, Anna?
Like different decor?
Yeah.
They actually did.
They've been impressing me lately.
It was actually surprising to me the quality. Now, some of it is your standard Dollar Tree.
Which you're walking in a Dollar Tree, you're not going to expect Pottery Barn quality,
Sure,
you know?
sure.
Know your store here.
This other one did not do this, by the way, guys. Just take that off. And
Sure, Anna.
I swear to you it didn't. I wouldn't be doing this like an idiot. It got caught up under the other.
It's like that extra long 30-minute pee you had to take. You just...
Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing the whole time. Weaving this thing in and out. Okay, so once you get all four in, you have got both ends. Now,
just a reminder, Anna, you're overhand. You big goob. You keep holding stuff up, and I'm like, nah.
Well, you used to be able to see the screen at the other studio, and I can't see a thing now.
Well, unless I tell you otherwise, you're overhand.
Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
They can see a little picture of you in the top right of their screen, but it's not super detailed.
Well, look, I just pulled it closer to the camera right there. I just saw it.
Stupendous.
Yep, it was intentional. Okay, so next you're going to decide how long you want your string or your hanger on the top to be. This is going to be preference on what you're doing with it actually. Now, a lot of time, and I'll go ahead. Can you go forward for just a second?
I sure can. What a stupendous request.
Thank you. I haven't finished this one yet, but I made two smaller ones and hung them on each other and put them in the middle of a wreath. So if you're going to do that, I made one of them of the strings longer than the other, and then just hooked it on so that it hangs. This one is shorter, obviously, because I didn't want it hanging all the way down. Once again, total preference on
so
that.
Cute.
I have not put the clappers.
That's it. That's it.
Clappers. I have not put the clappers in these yet, but you can literally just dress up a green wreath, a simple green wreath with 2 of these. It makes it super light, and then just put a bow up at the top. And look how cute
You
that
know
is.
they're going to ask where that wreath is from.
This wreath is from a local floral shop called Wilma's. It is
Becca said
an
it
investment.
ain't cheap.
But here's the deal. This is the Real Touch stuff. You know how a lot of places are switching over to that from the old school, like,
Oh, yeah, I can
crunchy
see the difference
green,
a mile away.
wiry,
Yeah.
crunchy green. I believe in investing now, and I will tell you, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, that kind of stuff, they have long garlands of this for like $30.
Now, looking from the camera, Anna, this 100% looks real.
Yeah.
Super real.
Yeah. So, anyway, you can get the $30 garland from TJ Maxx and then just wire it on a grapevine wreath. I'm going to tell you that that's probably, what do we pay for these? Like $80.
I don't think that's too
it's
bad.
not terrible.
You're
but
going to
once
use
again,
it over
it's
and
a
over.
local business. I love supporting local businesses. It's one of my clients. It's she and her sister that run it. So sometimes it's worth it. It's going to be something that can last forever. Anyway, you don't have to use the expensive one, and that is the purpose. You don't have to. Do you?
Well, do you know what the name of the actual greenery is?
I think it is that's not a Douglas fir, is it? I'll have to look it up because there's a lot of different greeneries.
Okay. Someone was asking.
Well, the thing is they get it from Atlanta at market, and so I don't know what's labeled and what's not. You know how resale is on some stuff. Anyway, so if that was a huge tangent on how long to make these, but be intentional depending upon what you're doing was the point.
Basically know what your finished product is
Yes.
going to be before you start. Yeah.
So what I did was go and just loop and make a knot at the top and then pull really tight, which is going to leave 4 strings on the inside of this. 2 of the strings you're going to make a knot all the way up to the base or to the bottom of the pot, because that is going to prevent, once you get your clapper in there, from, like before, when the clapper was on, it would pull out this way because of gravity and the weight. So then if you just secure that, it's not going anywhere once you're done. Now, you can cut the tails off of those and get them out of the way. Then you're going to take your finished clapper.
Ringer-dingy.
Ringer-dingy. I feel like I'm saying something wrong every single time I say clapper, so I'm going to go back to the ringer-dingy, I think.
I love that you think that ringer-dingy sounds better than clapper.
Oh, I know. Okay, so just play around with how far out you want that. I'm going to want mine to probably be about the same as that one.
The amount of people that are happy to see you hosting, Anna, is vomit-inducing.
It's nauseating?
I said vomit-inducing, and Becca said nauseating.
You are so mean.
We're really spreading the love today. I'm so happy to see Anna hosting. It does my heart good to see Anna's pretty face. Me and Becca are like, ugh. You guys know you just miss us.
Here's the deal,
don't
though,
butter
guys.
her up.
You all have gotten to live the dream for how many years now? And I've been over here.
Oh, here we go, pity party, Becca.
By myself.
Here goes the pity party.
Missing the crap out of y'all.
Let me play you a song on the world's smallest violin.
You're so rude to me. I don't even know why I want to come, but I really do.
Because you love me.
Okay, once that is done, flip off the extra. I will have to go back and distress this one.
Becca, I don't know this either unless it's something on YouTube, in which case that's my job and I should know. Is it the floating Christmas ornament? Were her kids with Santa? Laria, let us know.
Lisa, the paint was Krylon Metallic Brilliant Gold. There's actually tons and tons and tons of golds, Becca and I have gone through them, and I will tell you, there's another one that's a Krylon. It's called actually, is it metallic gold, Becca? Or what's the one? This might be the one that's on Rachel's candlesticks upstairs. I think there's two that we like because the finish is more metallic and not so flat. It actually looks more realistic. We will find the other one. I think it's here because it was mine that we did on your candlesticks.
Okay, yeah. I do love that gold.
But there's only two that we have found that we do like because the rest of them just look like somebody tried and miserably failed to make a good gold spray paint.
Let me tell you, you can mess up a gold.
You can. So sometimes they look too tan and sometimes they're too yellow. I really want a rose gold that doesn't look ridiculous. If any of y'all have done a rose gold that looks good, let us know. Message us. Okay, anyway, so now after this part is totally up to you. Do you want to put a bow on the top? Do you want to put a bow and berries? Once again, this is going to completely just depend on what you're doing with it. But that is pretty much it, guys. And it just is so cute. And obviously, you can make these super, super, super huge. If any of y'all have seen the TikTok trend of the dollar store bowls that make the bells also.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay, so honestly, we were going to try to do those. It's very hard to find the bowls that have a lip and are shaped correctly. Have you noticed? Yes.
You can finish your thought before you
No, it's
take
fine.
my
Go ahead.
raised hand, Anna.
Yes, what is your raised hand, ma'am?
Kathy said, I have driftwood sticks from the beach, nicely sanded by the waves. Will that work as a clapper?
That'd be fantastic, actually.
That'd be really cute.
Then you wouldn't have to beat the heck out of a square rod.
Well, I think
Get a
Anna
square
got a little bit of
stick.
anger out, though, trying to
Well,
beat
man,
that rod.
it was refreshing.
I bet it was.
We'll say that. Does anyone have any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Anna?
This was super
You
simple
don't
and
see her super
straightforward.
often. I will give it a couple weeks. You'll see her so often you'll be sick of her. But for right now, you don't see her often. You got any questions for her? I noticed Jan was here. Jan, you better be taking good care of that sweet baby.
My baby should be asleep. He, I love that paint.
Anybody have any questions on the sale, the membership sale? Coupon code still active. Jingle, Jingle.
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 Like these bells. But they don't.
Well, they kind of do.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, that's the ring of
That's the ring of a ringer-dinger.
that's the ring of a ringer dinger. And if you like to learn all about professional crafts and learn words like ringer dinger,
Yes. What kind of bow?
bow. Maybe like the one that you just made for the other one.
This one?
Is that corduroy? What is that?
It is. Becca says that's a bow like you used to tie your shoe.
That's actually exactly what her face looked like when she said it, Anna.
It's not actually though. I'll show you a couple little tricks with it.
My shoes have never looked that good.
Do your shoes never look
My
that
shoes
good?
have never looked that good. I can tell you that.
Rachel's just slip on. She doesn't remember how to tie shoes.
Oh my God, I deserve all of this. I would complain, but I deserve it.
I've actually floral wired it on. I'll show you that.
Ray, if you have a question about measurements, I will kindly divert that to anyone else but me.
What measurement questions are we talking? Okay, so with this specific bow,
Your overhead.
I'm.
No, I'm just letting you know.
Thank you, Rachel. You're literally gonna make a circle like this, and these are gonna overlap inside. Then you take it and squeeze it in the middle. After you have squeezed it in the middle is when you critique and move it around depending upon how much of a trail you want. And then I took some red. You could also layer this in at that point too if you wanted a different texture and that kind of stuff too. But I took red, wrapped it around a couple times. This is like a red velour. And then I tied it in the back. Not too tight because I'll show you what you're going to do in a second. I like to do it this way because if you have velour ribbon or something that is not two-sided, you're going to see the ugly side of it if you don't just knot that off there. So then I took 2 more pieces of the skinny reds.
Ray said, I'm not good with measuring at all. Do you have anything you can teach or a course on how to properly read measurements? I think this is funny because I need this course as well.
As in measurements on
Also,
a tape measure?
like in general. What I honest to God don't think that's a bad idea. Which I wouldn't say in the works, but in like the planning stages, there is like a kind of a woodworking course type thing that we're thinking about doing. We might need to throw a couple videos in about that.
I'm gonna horse laugh right now.
Let me tell you.
I'm so sorry, Rachel. You don't know how to read a tape measure.
So if it's not a half, or I can read quarters, I guess.
No eighths, no sixteenths, no 32nds.
Couldn't even come close to telling you.
So, correct. Fabric tape measures are not as in-depth as a tape measure. Some actual woodworking tape measures do not even go into 30 seconds. It depends on how...
30 seconds?
Yes. So like a furniture builder or something like that that needs to be super precise, you're going to want to go into 30 seconds.
I'm gonna vomit.
Now, Rachel, we may also need to do a live on how to add and subtract fractions when you're doing different measurements too.
I will be so sick that day.
Do you want to know? My dad is phenomenal at it. That's what he did at work, was woodworking and measurements and all that kind of stuff. And I'll call Dad and be like, hey, Dad, what's 5/16 and a 32nd minus 4 of these? He's like, it's blah, 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 blah. And then, but sometimes like, now, Anna, I've told you, you always add this. And I'm like, Daddy, just tell me the answer.
Ray, I'm the same way.
What are you going to do when I'm dead? I'll probably Google it. I don't know.
Well.
This ribbon? The green ribbon, you all are going to die. This is actually from Walmart. It is called My Texas Home. It's a whole new line that they have this year. Did I bring those wooden? I brought the wooden bells. Did I bring those? I didn't bring them in. They have got an entire phenomenal line. It kind of looks like Magnolia Home stuff that I was super impressed to find this year. They've got this in red and cream and white, and then obviously the green. And then they've got a lot of really good rustic wooden elements too. So if you saw what I did, I'm literally just taking these individual pieces and going up under the center that I created. And that's going to allow them to hang really well. Then after you do that, go in and fluff up your bow.
There's a lot of people coming forward saying they would like a measuring course.
And for the love of God, people, I love all of you. Finish your bows off. Fold them in half. Cut them at an angle. It just makes it prettier. Rachel, do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, were you fishing for me to
I mean, I just didn't know. I don't know what your standards are on bows.
Yeah, Ray. You're like in a classroom, okay, and like all of the students have the same question, but they don't want to ask it. You were the brave person who asked it today, which was, I can't measure, help me. And everyone else finally came forward with, I can't measure either.
I think
Listen, everyone knows I can't measure.
It's just foreign from where Becca and I grew up in a woodworking
It's exactly
household.
what it is.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's
I don't
just
know.
like someone who can cook. Like if you're in your 30s, you cook super good. It's because your mama or your mama or you picked it up young and you just started cooking. You know, some people just can't do it. I cannot measure.
Well, I mean, when we're hanging stuff, Mark will say, does that need to be hung like Doug Myers did it? And I'm like, yes, that's why you're not going to do it. Because he just kind of looks and guesses. On the back side of this bow, I just took some floral wire and ran it under. And then
Becca's dropping. Can we buy one for me?
oh,
Becca's dropping the link to a measuring tape that you all need to get.
well, this is eliminating a course idea now, Becca. Good job.
I still won't know how to use it.
What's everyone saying?
Everyone needs a course on how to measure.
More woodworking videos would be great. This is why I don't sew. You're definitely not ready for that course. We all learn. Maybe we should just have Dad come and teach that. He is literally the measuring fraction guru.
I think he would intimidate people with his knowledge, with his vast knowledge.
No, Daddy's so sweet. He wouldn't intimidate anybody.
You don't have to tell me that Dougie's sweet.
I know.
Dougie holds my heart, and you know it.
Gift wrapping department. You know what? I actually would love to work in a gift wrapping department when I get old. Like, just sit there at Christmas and talk to people.
Becca's going to be snuggling NICU babies, and you're going to be wrapping gifts at the JCPenney.
We don't even have JCPenney anymore.
That's a shame.
Do you know they actually have an actual store set up in, or they did last year, in our mall?
Just to wrap
I think it's
gifts?
like the old Corn Dog 7 or something.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and you would walk in and get, I mean, they've renovated it clearly.
Right.
But you just go in and pay them to wrap your presents.
I
mean, I'm pretty good at it. Mark Lamb's pretty decent at wrapping, too. Sometimes he'll piece a few things together where I would just scrap it and start over.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. But to each their own, you know?
Yeah. I mean, grand scheme, it is going to be ripped open and thrown away. Just saying.
I'm not even sure that my kids' presents are getting wrapped this year, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Well.
I don't know. Anyway, so that is all I have for y'all today.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Let us know.
Any more content ideas that you all want to know about that you're too afraid to ask? Shoot them at us. We'll probably ridicule you a little bit, but we'll give you content.
Yeah. Don't forget to join if you haven't already. We have so many cut files. A ton of them are perfect for the holidays. So if you want to shell out some really last minute, super cute home decor gift ideas, all kinds of stuff, you can make so many good stocking stuffers, what have you. We're adding to those cut file collections. All of our cut files have a free commercial use license. We also have some great courses. If you happen to have a Cricut, we have some great courses on how to master that, from opening the box to mastering design space, make your first projects, all kinds of stuff. Also, our members' favorite perk by far is the member-only Facebook group, where you can commune together as a bunch of crafty people and ask questions, post pictures, get advice, have a ton of fun. And it's not Cricut crafters, just Cricut craft. We have Cricut crafters, people who only do woodworking, people who do laser cutting, people who only do sublimation, sewing.
You just
so
need
much.
to get on there so that you can see our member that hand carves pickle ornaments. I mean, she hand carves lots of stuff, but her pickle ornaments.
Just pickle. Can you imagine her niche? She only carves
I mean, she
pickles.
probably could market it just for that, because it's so phenomenal. Her painting
could.
is phenomenal. And I didn't know to water down acrylic paint on wood, because it gives it more of a translucent look. It doesn't look as like caked on. So she taught me that on the Facebook.
So cool. I mean, listen,
Wealth of knowledge.
we say all the time, because we're not, we're very transparent. We're super honest people. You all teach us just as much, if not more, than we teach you. Here at Oak and Lamb, it's our goal to make you guys confident and well-rounded. And we can flip that right around. You guys make us more confident every single day as well. We couldn't do this without you. And there's not a price you can put on knowledge and confidence. And that's what you gain here at Oak and Lamb. So join the flock today. Become a member. That's what we call all of our members, is our flock. Because, sheep, flock. I remember sitting at the coffee shop coming up with all that.
Well, wasn't we originally going to call him a herd?
A herd.
Which is
and it never,
like a buffalo,
I never loved it. I'm like,
cows.
a herd? What? I never. Then I think it was Anna.
It was,
And they
'cause
said
I'm a lamb.
flock, and I'm like, sold. Flock is adorable. So join our flock. We would love for you to do that. This is the best sale ever, $45 off jingle, which, by the way, in ninth grade, we were decorating in my history class for Christmas, and I was spelling jingle, and I spelled it Gingle.
Gingle.
Gingle. Honest mistake. I was ridiculed for weeks.
Well, sometimes G makes this soft sound,
Well,
like giant.
not this case, but that's okay. That's okay.
If we don't have any more questions or anything, that is all I have for you all today. And thank you all so much for being here with us. We had 61 people. It's a pretty good turnout for a Tuesday morning, especially with our difficulties we were having. But thank you all so much. I'll see you another time for another craft.